Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So our group will present about the chosen bank, which is the Jordan Bank. So let's take a look about the presentation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amar bin Muhammad Zaini. Number ID BMF 2011-010. I will talk about introduction. The fundamental basis for an Islamic system is a set of rules and laws known as Sharia that control the economic, social, political and cultural aspect of Islamic countries. Sharia derives from the Quran, laws and practice, as well as the Prophet's interpretation, more properly known as Sunnah. Profits determine successful entrepreneurship and the generation of more wealth, whereas interest is cost that is accrued regardless of the outcome of business operation and may not create value if there are economic losses. Next, the social justice. Social justice requires that borrowed and lenders share gains and losses in an equal manner, and the economic process of wealth building and distribution be fair and representational of junior output. Islamic banking finance, which is also known as Islamic finance or Sharia compliant finance, which refers to financial activities that follow the Sharia principle, Islamic law, which is following Quran and Sunnah. The sharing of profit and loss, as well as the restriction on the collecting and payment of interest by lenders and investors, are two key concepts of Islamic banking.
So now we will go to the next part of our presentation, which is the reporting history of the IFS and IBF development in Jordan. Okay. So what we need to know about the history of the IFS and the IBF in Jordan is the period 1940 to 1970 witnessed the independence of many Muslim countries around the world, especially in the Middle East. This process of independence reinforced by factors such as the establishment of internal Islamic organization and the revival Islamic economic literature. So it led to the growth in the number of Muslims who wanted to conduct their business transaction according to the Sharia. This was reflected in the emergence of Islamic banking. Then it also established in the 1978 as a public limited company. So Jordan Islamic Bank, which is one of the bank in Jordan, opened its first branch on September 22, 1979. So now, after decades of growth, the bank employs 2,436 members of staff and has ambition that stretch beyond the world of finance. In fact, we aim to meet the economic and social needs to citizens in accordance with the principle of Sharia law. Then, the IFS aims at providing a comprehensive and coordinated approach to financing and project implementation that will combat desertification and promote SLM, and in doing so to provide a more stable climate for investment and financing in this area for Jordan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sharabita Mesa. I will present about the total number of IPF institutions in the country and the corporate number with conventional institution. The total number of IPF institutions in the country and corporate number with conventional institution. First is Islamic Bank have 4 banks. 4 Islamic banks are now active on the market. GIB as a Jordan Islamic Bank, RNC Bank, and Islamic International Arab Bank. Jordan's adoption of Islamic finance has significant potential for growth. And second is conventional bank have 35 banks. There are 25 active banks, 15 of which is listed on the ASE, 15 of which are regional institutions, such as the Kuwait National Bank, Egypt Arab Land Bank, BOM Bank, and National Bank of Abu Dhabi. And the third is Jordan has to Takaful Islamic Insurance, which is the Islamic insurance company and the first insurance company. These companies offer insurance service based on the Islamic value Takaful. The first bank is Jordan Islamic Bank. Jordan Islamic Bank's began operation in 1978 was the first Islamic institution in the nation to provide banking, investing, and financial service by the Sharia law. And the Islamic Tradition Code of Law, it has a network of 25 banking offices and 83 branches spread over the kingdom. And the second bank is Arab Bank. Arab Bank is the first private financial institution in the Arab world. The bank was established in Jerusalem, Practice and Mandatory in 1930. Arab Bank is one of the biggest financial organizations in the Middle East. It provides service to customers from more than 600 locations spread across 5 countries. The business offers a variety of banking service to people, business, government, and other global financial organizations. A significant economic force in Jordan as well as the Middle East and North Africa. It is also the largest bank in the term of market capital and holding 28% of the Amman Stock Exchange. And the last bank is Bank of Jordan. Bank of Jordan is a conventional and commercial bank that was established in 1960. It is more than 80 locations in Jordan and 16 branches in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. The bank offers private and corporate client leasing, consumer and corporate banking (SME) and investment banking solution. Its main office is in Amman. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurain Sofia binti Muhammad Amin. So I will present about IBF fund size and growth rate in Jordan. For total asset, increase year on year from 2012 to 2013. Total asset increased by 8.17%. From 2013 to 2014, increased by 8.64%. From 2014 to 2015, increased by 1.87%. From 2015 to 2016, increased by 7.99%. From 2016 to 2017, increased by 8.17%. From 2017 to 2018, decreased by 1.03%. From 2018 to 2019, increased by 7.62%. From 2019 to 2020, increased by 9.19%. From 2020 to 2021, increased by 9.69%. So next, we will look to total financing and investment from year on year. So from 2012 to 2013, increased by 1.09%. 2013 to 2014, increased by 5.41%. 2014 to 2015, increased by 19.89%. 2015 to 2016, increased by 2.85%. From 2016 to 2017, increased by 3.07%. From 2017 to 2018, increased by 5.59%. From 2018 to 2019, increased by 7.49%. From 2019 to 2020, increased by 12.18%. And last, from 2020 to 2021, increased by 10.72%. So next, we look to the graph about the total depositor. Total depositor increased by 1.81% from 2017 to 2018. For 2018 to 2019, increased by 4.44%. From 2019 to 2020, increased by 4.25%. From 2020 to 2021, increased by 4.99%.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Anwardina Humaira bin Azlan with my ID number BMF 2011004. I will explain a bit further issue that related in the development in the country Jordan. So, the issue that can be linked in the development of IBF in Jordan is in terms of the inability to understand financial success will result from the difference in this criteria and the inadequacy in the level of auditing required by law, as well as weak areas in financial performance data based on financial report analysis information can be explained as the result. Since it is an Islamic institution, Islamic banks have to follow Islamic accounting and financial principles, although applying that legislation may conflict with Islamic Sharia. It must do so even if it accepts International Financial Reporting Standards IFRS or applies its Islamic regulatory standards. The element of weakness in determining the effectiveness of the strategy based on the absence of weaknesses in the analysis of the type of auditor and the value of the auditing report is an important issue in the development of IBF in this country. Some also say that conventional banks are more competitive than Islamic banks because of the technology that has been created. It is stated in the annual report of the Islamic Bank of Jordan that the Islamic Bank of Jordan may suffer losses. Even the worker claimed he was ignorant of the principle of FIG and cancelled the return because Islamic rules face ignorance and harm. This issue happened in Jordan Islamic Bank. This shows that conventional banks have made much more money than Islamic banks when comparing interest rate between the two types of bank. Then we go to the next presenter.
Next, I will present about my opinion about the country's IBF development and prospect. First, by creating new products and services and enhancing current ones to maximize customer benefits and happiness. Bank of Jordan continued to work to improve its position as one of the top banks in Jordan's banking industry in 2021. To make banking transactions for consumers simpler, the bank also worked on streamlining its process and creating and automating the flow of operations. Bank of Jordan was eager to stay up to date on technical advancement in electronic application and alternative channels because it had built a reputation for technological innovation and digital transformation in order to increase operational efficiency and grow flexibility. Additionally, the bank keeps concentrating on effectively controlling the sources and uses of funds in order to enhance profit margins.
From my opinion about that country IBF development, the Bank of Jordan bases its philosophy of performance management and embraces and bonus on an evaluation of an employee performance, the degree of skill they possess, identifying their strengths and shortcomings and creating development plan to boost their level of productivity. Additionally, it is crucial to tie annual assessment to the bank overall performance to inspire employees at all levels to boost both the organization's general productivity and efficiency as well as the productivity of each employee within a certain department.
So, now opinion about that country's IBF development, which is we choose Jordan. So, the performance of the bank in 2021 was in line with its comprehensive strategic approach, which aimed to achieve sustainable performance levels across the organization and keep up with changes and transformations in the business environment that is still dealing with the effect of the corona pandemic. The bank carried on its crucial work supporting social and economic advancement in the market where it conducted business in 2021. The assets totaled to 2.7 billion dinar, an increase of 1% from the end of 2020. So the equity held by the shareholder in the bank amounted to 473.4 million dinars. The bank credit portfolio at amortized cost was 1.49 billion dinar, up to 1.3% from 2020 in terms of investment and funding sources, owing to the expansion of facilities geared to the individual sector by 8.5 million dinars. Okay.
So from my opinion, from the standpoint of product, pricing, contrast, drafting and advertising, Bank of Jordan places a high focus on fairness and transparency in interacting with clients. All phases of the bank's daily activity demonstrate this. The establishment of unit within the compliance department within the express purpose of resolving client complaints demonstrate the significance the bank places on interacting with consumer. Customer complaints, in the bank's opinion, are useful tool for checking that overall policies and process are being applied correctly and for highlighting areas that need improve.
My opinion for the last point is to summarize the Islamic finance has enormous potential in Jordan. With the right strategy and only will more people turn to Islamic finance, as has happened in other parts of the Islamic world, but more investors will use the bank service as well. And to capitalize on this potential, these banks must establish links and relationships with international financial markets in general and the global Islamic financial sector in particular. That's all from us. Thank you.